A lot of people confuse wasting time with patience. Aren't you one of them? In this video, I will share with you how I would have missed a lifetime opportunity thinking I was being patient and the lesson I learned afterwards. That's if you are willing to be patient and watch this video to the end. Patience is often misunderstood as waiting for something to happen. We are led to believe that if we wait long enough, our problems will resolve themselves, or our goals will magically manifest. However, true patience requires actions, effort, and perseverance. 4 years ago in 2022, after the COVID-19 pandemic, I embarked on a journey to get admission to a university in Nigeria. Our first step was to visit the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, known as JAM, to register for the examination. For those who may not be familiar, JAM is a mandatory examination for students seeking admission into higher institutions in Nigeria. The score range from 0 to 400 with a cutoff mark of 200. However, every institution has its own cutoff mark for every course, depending on its complexity. I applied for the admission, choose my desired course and institution, and I sat for the examination. But unfortunately, my result wasn't what I expected. My score was lower than the cutoff mark of my choosing course, and I knew I wouldn't be offered admission. I had to wait an entire year to reapply. I used this time to prepare better, attending jam coaching, practicing past questions, and reading textbook. And despite my effort, my scoring improved slightly. My mother was so determined to help me make inquiries about institutions that could accept my score. She met someone who told her about a new found institution that was open for admission. Fortunately, I could apply with my previous job result as my score is above the institution's cutoff mark. I went to meet the person who told my mother about the institution to ask for more information. He told me he had a brother who worked at the institution. We called the brother and he guided me through the process. However, this didn't go as smoothly as I had hoped. I was instructed to visit a nearby jam center to request a change of institution and course and upload my whole level result. I was assured that I would receive admission within 3 days. However, 3 days turned into a week, then 2 weeks, no admission, and I was getting anxious and worried that I might miss another opportunity. I returned to the man who had initially helped me, and he suggested we visit his uncle at the institution. On our way, he mentioned that he has an uncle whose office was nearby and wanted to greet him. We went to the office, but his uncle wasn't available. We met some of his colleagues, one of whom asked about my admission status, and I explained my situation, and he asked me if I had applied for post-CME uniform, and I told him I hadn't. He looked surprised and told me that was likely the reason I hadn't received admission yet. I was directed to apply for the post-CME uniform, which I did. We went back to meet the man who told me to apply for the post-CME, and he said I would receive an admission offer within 3 days. However, 3 days almost turned into 2 weeks and still no admission. I was starting to lose hope and wondered if I would ever get admitted. I began to question my decision to pursue higher education. My mother spoke to someone and the person said they knew someone in the institution who had helped their own children too. I was given the contact information of two of their children who lead me to the person. I went to the institution alone, but when I reached out to them, unfortunately, they weren't available and I was so disappointed and didn't know what to do. It was raining so heavily, so I took shelter in a sketchy building, waiting for the rain to stop. As I wait, I remember the man who had first helped me, so I decided to visit him. I went to his office and asked him if he remembered me. He said no, so I reminded him that I was the boy he helped, who came with his uncle 2 weeks ago. He asked if I had received admission, and I told him no. He looked surprised and asked why. I explained the situation, and he asked for my name and JAM registration number. He took the information to the University Computer Resources Center. I didn't know what they were discussing in there, but after a while he came out and told me I haven't uploaded my whole level results. And I told him I had, but he said it wasn't reflecting. I had to go back to the JAM center and re-upload. To cut a long story short, I went back to the JAM center for the uploading. It turned out that the old level result that I uploaded hanged, so the error was corrected. 2 days later, I received admission. I was overjoyed and relieved that the long process was finally over. Looking back, I realized that I would have misinterpreted waiting for patience. The reason I share this story with you is to let you know how sometimes waiting patience is all about waiting. Whereas patience doesn't mean solely waiting for things to work out, but we forcing them to when they seem to be stopped. So what are you doing when you're patiently waiting for what you want? Ask yourself right now. There's something that has ruined many lives that many don't even believe yet. They believe that if you are patient, what will be will always be. But I meant to tell you, what will be will not always be if you don't take the necessary steps. This mentality has hindered so many people, especially Nigerians, who believe that if you are patient, what will be will be. Until this day, you have no results to show for it. What will only be if you act on your desire, have patience for the results you yield. This is my story, for example. If I hadn't make effort, I would have missed a great opportunity. All thanks to God, my parents, and well wishers. If there's one thing that I've learned in 2024 is that nothing works if you don't work it out. Nothing changes if you don't change it, and nothing improves if you don't improve it. And here's the important part. You may fast and pray about it, but you still be the one not to do the work, or they just give you the strength to navigate it. There is a quote that goes, the patient dog is the fattest bone. But I believe the patient dog may not even have the smallest bone to hit. Even others are making efforts, pushing themselves forward. The dog just lie there waiting patiently for a miracle to happen. The real purpose of this video is to emphasize that being patient doesn't mean doing nothing and wait for things to work out. Don't just wait for things to work out because most time they won't. You have to make them happen, even if by forcing them to. You should be patient when you actively engaged in something that hasn't yielded results yet. I call that consistency. But at the end of the video, if you find this message meaningful, like this video. If you have anything to add, let's know in the comments. And please, I'm begging you, subscribe to my channel. This is the only way you can show appreciation for this video. I'm all about spreading positivity and inspiring the video. This is the notification bell so when I drop a new video, you'll be notified. I recommend watching this video if you are someone suffering into overthinking in the video. Share practical tips on how you can manage your thoughts and stop overthinking. You can share with me any topic you wish I should talk about and I'll make videos about them. My name is Samuel and I'll see you in the next video.